In life, events happen all day, every day. Events themselves are neutral. They don't have any meaning that they bring on their own. We know this because one person will act to an event in one way, and another person will react to the event in a completely opposite way. We bring the meaning to the events that happen in our lives. And this is not an exercise in taking away meaning. We want to bring meaning. Meaning is what allows us to experience joy and love and the richness of life. But we want to be able to move to a place where we're in control of this meaning, that it's not being assigned for us. Because when it's being assigned for us, that means our past and our history is driving us in a way that we're experiencing life in the way that we were, not as we are. And I'm going to use an example from my own life to walk us through this. I am now happily married and I have a family, but a long time ago when I was a young man, a teenager, and into my young adulthood, I had not yet started my own journey of mental health. I had a lot of challenges in the way I thought about myself and my place in the world. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think that I had any value, even though a lot of the things I did suggested otherwise. And this played out in being in relationships. I always wanted to be in a relationship that was loving and caring and kind, but I didn't think that I had anything to bring to them. And in order to just go up and ask a girl out, I couldn't just do that. I needed to somehow prove to her that I was valuable by being funny or having good friends or doing something nice. I kind of came into these relationships or pre-relationships in this area of being one less. And in order just to become even with the person that I liked, I needed to do work. I needed to prove myself. And that set up a lot of fear and anxiety for me. And I was in relationships and I was able to go on dates and I was able to override that in a way to ask someone out, but it was definitely not comfortable. And then after that, it didn't leave me in the relationship as feeling equal or that I was contributing. And so I'm going to use that as an example in if that's the way I'm set up and I finally see someone that I like and I want to ask her out to dinner. You know, it would take an extreme amount of energy to just go up and say, hey, I like you, will you go out with me? But let's say I was able to do that. And I go up to this person and I see her and I say, hey, will you go out to dinner with me? And she says, no. What do you think is going to happen for me? I'm going to immediately go back into everything that I believe and the stories I've been telling about myself, that I'm not good enough, that this wasn't going to work, that I can't be in a relationship. I'm immediately standing there in my belief or story about what's going on. This is my perception, the meaning that I'm bringing. And that belief or story about what's happening comes from my past, from my history. So now standing in front of this person, I'm not even just standing there in front of her. I'm really in my past. And I've transferred probably every woman that's ever said no to me or any other time that I've been rejected onto this moment. And that doesn't leave a lot of room for any movement. And when I'm in this space, it doesn't feel safe for me. So I'm going to go into my automatic reaction, really my survival strategies. You know, in my case, I probably make a joke, say that I didn't really want to go anyway or something along those lines. There might be somebody that in the same situation that would become angry. That'd be like fighting. There might be somebody that would like run away, fleeing. I would try to do something to avoid the discomfort. And then what that does, because I haven't done anything different, is really just fortify this cycle. So now the next time I see someone that I like that I want to ask out, I'm even more scared. I'm more frustrated. This story is cemented. And so now I'm going up to them, and maybe this time I'm more anxious. I'm shaking, I'm sweating. And what are the chances of someone, when I'm shaking or sweating, going to want to say, yeah, I'll go out with you? I probably have a greater chance of getting a no. Now, mind you, I haven't even waited to say, no, they don't want to go this tonight. They can go next week, or no, that they're in another relationship. I've just automatically made this about me and my whole history. It can't even just be made about somebody not wanting to go out with me, which is also okay. And in this way, I'm really living life that in a repetitive and stuck manner. I'm almost not alive because I'm living my history. I'm not living my present. The meaning to this event is being assigned by my history, not by me. But there's a way out of this. And the first step is really awareness. Recognizing that this is happening all the time. We're always experiencing events that are uncomfortable. And if we're not intentional or aware of this, that will go into our automatic reactions. There's nothing wrong with that. We actually want automatic reactions when there is an actual threat. But when we perceive a threat, we may go into these reactions without knowing it. And it's okay. But we first want to recognize that it's happening. And once we can recognize that it's happening, say in an actual event, and I can recognize that I'm in automatic reaction, or I'm in my history, or I'm in my belief or story, the first thing we want to do is stop. What does that mean? That sounds pretty simple. It means intervene on what's going on. That might be taking a few deep breaths. It might be removing yourself from the situation and getting perspective. It might be making a phone call, talking to a friend. It might be bringing it to therapy. But in some way, intervene on what's happening. Stop. Don't let the automatic reaction continue. And then once we stop, we can look. Or get present. I can view what's actually happening now. This isn't everybody that's ever said no to me. This is an assault on my character. This is one person not wanting to go to dinner. Just one. And when I can take a look at that and get present, moving out of my past into my present, then I can choose. Not that I don't have choice down here, but when I'm going into an automatic reaction, it limits the possibilities that I'm choosing from. There's a part of me going, I felt like this before and I know the way out. Run through the door as fast as possible. But now I can kind of choose from all possibilities. In choice, though, there's risk. And even if that risk brings us, even if that choice brings us to something we want, it's going to feel different. Because even if it's a better choice, it's not the choice I've ever made before. There's more comfort in automatic reactions. Not comfort like I like it, but I know how to survive whatever's happening. Up here, I'm making a choice that's different than I've made before. Maybe in this case, I thank the person. And maybe ask her, why wouldn't you want to go out with me? And learn something about myself where I can grow. Maybe it's about her. But maybe there is something about me that I could improve. And then I can move through life and having another experience that's not based on something in my history. We stop, look, and choose. Now, we're alive. We can experience joy and authenticity. And authenticity is great in the way that the word shares the same root word as the word author. And an author writes a story. They don't write a story that already existed. If they write a story that already existed, they're a plagiarizer. They write a new story that they're in control of, that they bring the meaning to. Living down here, we're just plagiarizing from our past. Up here, we're the author of our lives. Down here, if life were a bus, we're riding in the back. We're at the effect of life. Up here, if life were a bus, we're driving it. We're at cause. Down here, we're in reaction. Up here, we're in response. This is called maintenance. I'm just getting by, doing the same thing over and over again. And up here is growth. We recognize with awareness when we're down here, living out of our past, and we build the tools and practices to be able to stop, look, and choose.